Hello everyone, welcome. In today's video, we'll be studying about the role of accounting and also we'll study about few very important accounting terms, okay? And these terms are really important to understand accounting in the future. So, let's look into it. Yeah, role of accounting. For centuries, the role of accounting has been changing with the change in economic development and increasing societal demands. It describes and analyzes a mass of data of an enterprise through measurement, classification, summarization, and reduces those data into reports and statements which show the financial condition and results of operation of the enterprise. Hence, it is regarded as the language of business. So, what is accounting? Accounting is regarded as a language of business. It also performs the service activity by providing quantitative financial information that helps the user in various ways. Accounting as an information system collects and communicates economic information about an enterprise to a wide variety of interested parties. However, accounting information relates to the past transaction and quantitative and financial in nature. It does not provide qualitative and non-financial information. Which type of accounting does provide this? Management accounting. Okay. These limitations of accounting must be kept in view while making use of accounting information. Now, we'll be studying few of the terms. Yeah, very important topic that we'll be studying now. We'll be studying about few important terms like when we study physics, okay, protons, neutrons, atoms, these are the terms that we need to know. Okay, when we study chemistry, there are certain solutions or all these terms we need to know. Like this, the accounts also has certain terms. We will be studying these terms now. Okay, the first term and the easiest term is entity. Okay, entity means the organization of whose accounts we are planning to make. So entity means a reality that has a definite individual existence. Business entity means specifically identifiable business enterprise like Super Bazaar, Haier Jewellers, ITC Limited, Reliance, Hero Honda. Okay, these are what? These are identifiable business entities. Okay, an accounting system is always devised for a specific business entity, also called accounting entity. So do remember, whenever we are going to make accounts, we are going to make accounts of this business entity and not of the owner of the business. The owner of the business is separate from the entity. We are going to make accounts of Reliance. We are not going to make accounts of Mukesh Ambani. Though we could make, but when we are studying accounts, we are studying to make accounts of the entity. The business is separate from its owners. Now, transactions. So each and every day they purchase, they sell, they spend money here and there, they receive money. All these are transactions. So an event involving some value between two or more entities. It can be a purchase of goods, receipt of money, payment to a creditor, incurring expenditure. Okay. It can be a cash transaction, like where cash is coming in or cash is going out of the business, or a credit one where the amounts will be settled at a future date. What is credit? Udhar. Next is assets. Assets we already know, these are the resources that belong to the entity. So assets are economic resources of an enterprise that can be usefully expressed in monetary terms. Assets are items of value used by businesses in its operation. So for example, Super Bazaar owns a fleet of trucks. So these trucks are the assets of Super Bazaar, which is used by it for delivering foodstuff. The trucks thus provide economic benefit to the enterprise. This item will be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. So balance sheet will have two sides. One is asset side, so another one is what? Liability side, the headache. Okay. So balance sheet of Super Bazaar. Assets can be broadly classified into two types: current assets and non-current. Current, it's not electricity, it's current asset. Okay, let's see what a current assets are. So assets can be divided into two types: current and non-current. The major difference upon current and non-current is these are generally long term, okay, and these are short term. What is long term and short term? So these assets can be converted into cash really quickly, okay, within a year they can be converted into cash. But these assets, if we want to sell them and want to convert them into cash, it generally takes time, okay. So let's first see current assets. So our current investments, like for a year I deposit money in a bank, or inventory is my stock. Stock is a current investment. Why? Because whatever I produce, I generally believe that within a year I'll be able to sell it. Then trade receivable, the people who owe me money, okay, they bought goods from me on credit. Now I expect money from them. They are my trade receivables. They are receivables, okay. Cash and cash obviously is in liquid form, already in liquid form, so it's a current asset. Short term loan, okay, I gave loan for 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. So short term loans and advances, I gave loan, so I expect the money back. It's my asset and other current assets. Next is long term, okay. What are non-current assets? Fixed assets, fixed that we cannot remove. Tangible, intangible asset. Tangible is the thing which we can touch and feel. This is a tangible asset for me. Intangible, like the software or the patent, the copyright which I bought to use it. Now I cannot touch and feel, that's intangible. Capital work in progress, I started making the asset, but it is still not complete. So it is capital work in progress. An intangible asset under development. So started writing a code for a software, okay, still not complete. So it's intangible work under progress. So these are the types of fixed assets. Then we studied current investment, it's for within a year. So long-term investment is non-current. What is deferred tax? You will be studying that in CA final. Long-term loans and advances and other non-current assets. Now, after assets, we will be studying the liabilities. We already have an idea. These are the claims against the enterprise. Okay, these are the headaches of the enterprise. The enterprise has to pay them back. So, liabilities are obligations or debts that an enterprise has to pay at some time in the future. Okay, they represent creditors' claims on the firm's assets. So, if you are not able to pay, they will take the assets from you. Both small and big businesses find it necessary to borrow money at one time or the other and to purchase goods on credit. Superbazaar, for example, purchases goods for rupees 10,000 on credit for a month from fast food products on March 25, 2005. If the balance sheet of Superbazaar is prepared on 31st March, the last date of our accounting year, okay, I told you from 1st April to 31st March accounts will be made. So balance sheet will be made on this date. Only one day balance sheet will be made. And that day, fast food products will be shown as creditors on the liability side. Why? Because on 31st March, this Superbazaar owes money to fast food. Okay, he has to pay this 10,000. He has still not paid. It's a headache for him. It's a liability for him. If Superbazaar takes a loan for a period of 3 years from Delhi State Cooperative Bank, this will also be shown as a liability. Why? Because this money also, this loan also has to be repaid to the bank. Now, shown on the liability side of the balance sheet of Superbazaar, liabilities are also, like assets, liabilities are also classified as current liability and non-current liability. And the idea of current and non-current is exactly same as that of assets. So within a year which has to be repaid are current liabilities. More than a year we need to repay, these are non-current liabilities. Next thing is capital. This is the word which we usually use in accounting. Okay, what is this word? Capital means it is the amount invested by the owners of the firm. So if I am starting a business and the money which I invested in the firm, that will be my capital because I am the owner, okay, and I am giving the money to the entity, to the business, okay. Now we are going to make accounts of the business, okay. For business perspective, from the business perspective, let's think that the business is taking money from me. So the business has to repay it sometime or the other. So whatever money the business takes from the owners of the business is called capital. So amount invested by the owner in the firm is known as capital. It may be brought in the form of cash or other assets by the owner for the business entity. Capital is an obligation and claim on the assets of the business. So it is therefore shown as capital on the liability side of the balance sheet. So do remember, capital is also a liability. Why capital is a liability? Because from the business point of view, the owner is giving money to the business, the owner expects the money back, so it is a headache for the business. Sometime or the other, the owner will take back the money. So whatever money the owner invests, that's called capital. Next one is sales. So sales are the total revenue from goods and services sold or provided to customers. Sales may be cash or credit. So whatever business sells to everyone, be in on cash or on credit, that's called our sales. Revenue, these are the amounts of the business earned by selling its products or providing services to customer, called sales revenue. Other items of revenue common to many businesses are commission, interest, dividends, royalties, rent received, etc. Revenue is also called income. So sales is just of those products which the business deals in. Like if I'm in the business of dealing into cars, so selling cars will be my sale, but I also have business money invested in fixed deposits, so interest that I'm earning, or there is a land which belongs to the business, I gave that land on rent, I'm earning rent. All these things will comprise of revenue, and revenues are also incomes. Now, expenses, costs incurred by business in the process of earning revenue are known as expenses. So to earn revenue, I have to bear some costs. So like to sell a car, I need to hire staff. Okay, I need to take land on rent or a building on rent. I need air conditioner, I need staff, salesmen to sell it, I need cleaners. All these things will be my cost. So costs incurred by business in the process of earning revenue are known as expenses. Generally, expenses are measured by the cost of assets consumed or services used during an accounting period. The usual items of expense are depreciation, rent, wages, salaries, interest, cost of heater, light and water, telephone, etc. There can be n number of costs. Okay. So, what is depreciation? I will be teaching you. There will be an entire subject. So, expenditure. Expenses we studied, expenditure. Spending money or incurring a liability for some benefit, service or property received is called expenditure. So, to get an asset, okay, or to have an expense, it's called expenditure. Purchase of goods, purchase of machinery, purchase of furniture, etc. are example of expenditure. If the benefit of the expenditure is exhausted within a year, it is treated as expense. So, like I bought a calculator, I bought this calculator, this is an expenditure. Now, if this calculator I am using it fully within a year, then it will be my expense. Okay, then it will be my expense. Also called revenue expenditure. On the other hand, benefit of an expenditure lasts more than a year, it's treated as an asset. So, I bought this. This is a very sturdy, very good calculator. I can use for 5 years, 10 years. Now it will not be an expense. It will be an asset. Why? Because it's a resource for my business. Also called capital expenditure. So all those expenditure which are utilized within a year are called expense, and revenue expenditure more than a year, capital expenditure or asset. Such as purchase of machinery or furniture. These machinery, furniture, they do not get exhausted within a year. Okay, this big TV which I have, I hope that it will not be fully exhausted in a year, that it is fully destroyed. No. Okay. Next thing is profit. Now, this is the reason why we do business. The excess of revenues of a period over its related expenses during an accounting year is profit. So profit increases the investment of the owners. The profit belongs to whom? The profit belongs to the owners of the business. Next is gain. What is the difference between profit and gain? A profit that arises from events or transactions which are incidental to business, such as sale of fixed assets, winning a court case, appreciation in the value of asset. These are called gains. So profit generally we make on what? On the usual things of our business. But there are certain unusual things also which happens in the business which might give us money. Okay, these are like I bought this TV for 5 lakh, I'm selling it for 7 lakh, 2 lakh extra I'm making. Okay, or I bought this land generally the value increases. Okay, so I'm making profit. This is not my business of selling TV. My business is something else, but still I'm making a profit, and that profit which is incidental to business but not a business profit is called gain. Loss, negative profits are called loss. So excess of expense for a period over its related revenues is termed as a loss. It decreases the owner's equity. It also referred to money or money's worth lost or cost incurred without receiving any benefit in return. Example, cash or goods lost by theft or a fire accident. It also includes loss on sale of fixed assets. Next is discount. So many times it happens that we ask for discount from a business. Okay, so from the business perspective, let's understand. Discount is a deduction in the price of goods sold. It is offered in two ways. Offering deduction on agreed percentage of the list price at the time of selling goods is one way of giving a discount. So straight away, whatever is written, 100 rupees written, 10% discount I am giving. So if it is 550 rupees, that's 100 rupee list price, 10 rupee, 10% straight. So it's a percentage of this price. Such discount is called trade discount. It is generally offered by manufacturers to wholesalers and by wholesalers to retailers. Okay, from business to business only these trade discounts are given. After selling the goods on credit basis, the debtors may be given certain deduction in the amount due in case if they pay the amount within the stipulated period or earlier. This deduction is given on the time of payment of amount payable, hence it's called cash discount. So whenever cash is given, okay, we all want cash, all the businesses love cash. So sometimes what happens, if someone is giving us cash, we offer them as an incentive, okay, yes, pay cash, we'll give you this much discount more. So that discount is called cash discount. Cash discount acts as an incentive that encourages prompt payment by the debtors. Next is voucher. What is voucher? The documentary evidence in support of a transaction is known as voucher. So I told you we need to write down all the business transactions. Okay, how to write down, where to write down? It's written on the vouchers. Okay, all people who are authorized will be signing it. Okay, if I'm paying someone money, I ask him to sign here that you have taken money, so that it becomes a documentary evidence. For example, if we buy goods for cash, we get a cash memo. If we buy goods on credit, we get an invoice. When we make a payment, we get a receipt, and so on. Okay, these all are vouchers. So when we swipe our card and a slip comes out, that slip is called a voucher. Okay. What are goods? It refers to the products in which the business unit is dealing. That is, in terms of which it is buying and selling or producing and selling. The items that are purchased for use in business are not called goods. For example, for a furniture dealer, purchase of chair and table is termed as goods. So whatever type of business I am doing, all those things, like I am doing a car selling business, so if I am buying and selling cars, these will be called my goods. But if I am buying a chair, so that way I can sit and sell a car, the chair will not be a good. But if I am a carpenter, if I am buying chairs, if I am buying wood, that will be my good. But if I am buying a car, because buying car is not my business activity, so car will not be a good for me. Only those things which relates to my business, okay, if I am buying that, are goods, are called goods. For a furniture dealer, purchase of chair and tables is termed as goods, while other it is furniture and treated as an asset. Similarly, for a stationery merchant, stationery is a good, whereas for others it is an item of expense. What is drawings? See, whenever, like as an owner, sometimes I need money to meet my day-to-day expenses. I can take the money from the business entity. Okay, so when I'm taking the money out from the business, it's called drawings. I'm drawing the money. Withdrawal of money or goods by the owners from the business for personal use is known as drawings. Now, drawings reduces the investment of the owners. Obviously, when I'm putting in money, my capital increases. Okay, when I'm withdrawing money, my capital decreases. Purchase, sale. So, purchase are the total amount of goods produced by a business, procured by a business on credit and on cash for use of sale. In trading concern, purchases are made of merchandise for resale with or without processing. In a manufacturing concern, raw materials are purchased, processed further into finished goods and then sold. Purchases may be cash purchases or credit purchases. So for a trading person, I'm buying a car, I'm selling the car, okay, that's my purchase. But if I'm a car manufacturer, I'm buying steel, I'm buying iron, I'm buying leather, I'm buying rubber, all these will be my purchases. I'm processing it, making a car and selling. So that's my purchase. Stock. So obviously I cannot sell everything which I make or which I purchase, okay. So whatever is remaining, that's called my stock. So stock is a measure of something on hand goods, spares and other items in a business. It's called stock in hand. In a trading concern, the stock on hand is the amount of goods which are lying unsold as at the end of an accounting period. It's called closing stock. Okay, ending inventory. In manufacturing company, closing stock comprises of raw materials, semi-finished goods and finished goods on hand on closing date. So what is semi-finished? So I started making the car as on the last date of financial year, that is 31st March, accounting year last date 31st March. I could not complete the entire car. So half of the car is ready, half of the car is not ready. So it's called semi-finished. Similarly, opening stock, beginning inventory is the amount of stock at the beginning of the accounting period. So whatever was unsold previous year, this year I'm starting again on 1st April. So whatever is the previous year closing stock will be opening stock for this year. This year I'll make the complete the car and sell it. Debtors and creditors. Debtors are the people to whom I sold goods related to business only, but on credit. I expect money from them. Debtors are persons or other entities who owe the enterprise an amount for buying goods and services on credit. The total amount standing against such person or entities on the closing date is shown in the balance sheet as sundry debtors on the asset side. So we use the word sundry. Sundry is many debtors on the asset side. We just write the total amount. So do remember, debtors are only those people who owe us money. Okay, they are still not paid, and only that money which belongs to business. Okay, whatever I sold on udhar, on credit, that money will be called debtor. I gave someone loan, okay, and giving loan is not my business, then that money will not be included in debtors. In the same way, creditors. Creditors are persons or other entities who have to be paid by an enterprise an amount for providing enterprise goods and service on credit. The total amount standing to the favor of such person or entities on the closing date on the balance sheet are sundry creditors on the liability side. So with this, this chapter ends. In our next video, I will be solving the questions here. Okay, thank you.